Hello there, welcome to another episode of World of Tanks and Gainey Titan, and we're on Fisherman's Bay. Standard battle, and I'm in the M46 Patton on my way to unlocking the M48 Patton, and haven't quite got there yet, but the progress has accelerated in the last few days now that they've brought in the new buy two on a win for the first 20 wins or something like that. That has really helped. I haven't actually been playing the Patton that much. I've been trying to keep it even with the T10 so that they'll both be close to eliting at around the same time, and I won't be playing one tank only for a period or for a long period at any rate, so that if I have a really bad game I can go straight to another tank and I won't have to wait for the tank to be released if I want to just complete it, because I do want to complete these ones, just get them out of the way. And then I have to focus on the next stage of just completing the American line, which would be the artillery and the AT-25 line. Now, I happen to regard that this village up here is the single most important spot on Fisherman's Bay, because if you control it, you can project vision into the rear of the enemy zone. You can also isolate the northern end of the map, because you can isolate the northwest from the northeast, because essentially nobody can cross the centre without being spotted from the village and shot at from the village. You can do the same from the red team going south. If you control the village here, you can isolate the town, the harbour town at the eastern side of the map, from the cap circle to the south, and you can basically get a very good, what they call it, inflating fire on anybody coming out of the town. In fact, you simply can't leave the town with any great chance of success in reaching the cap circle. If the village is controlled and dominated, you have to actually clear the enemy out of that area first before you can do it, otherwise you'll be just shot to pieces. Now, I noticed that we were holding the village quite well, and there was a medium tank making a run up the one line, but he wasn't getting any support where he needed it, which was down on the one line directly. He was well supported against people on the high ground, but not so much against people on the low ground directly facing him, and he's also being a little too aggressive against too many tanks. Rather than waiting around the rock and fighting defensively, like a lot of people, he just keeps pushing. However, if you now look at the mini-map at this stage, something interesting has happened. All the attention of the tanks in the centre of the map has become drawn towards the northwestern corner. All those tanks are drifting in this direction, and they're ignoring what's happening in the town. That means the two heavy tanks in the town have been able to flank around some of our tanks, and they're now going to get flanking fire, and they're going to get supporting fire as well from the centre of the village. Just because we no longer see that medium tank in the village in the centre doesn't mean he's not shooting at our guys at the edge of the village and down on the open road below to the south of the town. So we're winning the west, and we're winning it with a lot of tanks we don't need. A lot of tanks that aren't really in the fight. Most of the guys to my right and behind me are not really in the fight, because the guys in the high ground in front up at B2, A2 have been cleared out. And they're basically unengaged at the moment. The tank destroyer behind me is mostly unengaged. And the only ones that are really directly engaging is the medium making a run for the cap circle. The Tiger that ran across the open ground is up here before me, and the light tank that's just coming in right now. And the enemy are mopping up the edge of the town and are going to be threatening our cap circle any moment now. Now, I didn't really realise the extent of the danger at this point. I was just focused in on clearing this side of the map. And I think it's kind of vital we do clear this side of the map anyway. We can't just turn around and leave these two guys here, because they would annihilate us moving away, disengaging anyway. The T-44 is about to be finished off, and that's this side of the map cleared. Now, the artillery just disappeared, and we need to start paying attention to our own cap circle. In fact, we need to start doing it pretty quickly. So I turn around and start heading back. I'm one of the faster tanks up here, so I might as well go at it, and I can approach the cap circle even if the guys in the centre, the two medium tanks and stuff like that, get destroyed, which is always possible, because well, I suppose they're safe enough. They're people in the town can't really see them. They just have to engage the guys in the cap circle, and the cap circle down there is completely open. Especially in that location, there might be a bit of cover to the north of the cap circle, but there's none, as far as I remember, in the cap circle itself. And by the time I get here, it's obvious that the heavy tanks have turned around, and we've cleared the cap circle. So my idea was that I was going to try and follow them across. I thought there'd be still more coming. By the time I got here, it's obvious that they're not. They've actually, all the heavy tanks have turned back, and there's none of them now in the town, or none of them pushing along the southern road towards the cap circle. They've all turned around to defend their own cap, which puts them actually in a very good tactical situation, because now I'm not really engaged. I'm at the edge of the firefight. I can engage the people that stick out of the town, and I'm going to have to cross over open ground to re-engage into the fight if I want to get back into it in a hurry. So I'm going to have to clear this object 257 out of the way to give myself a bit of room to re-engage in the fight. Our light tank is pushed too far forward, and the guy in the cap circle stayed there too long. Which again is a very common occurrence. People tend to commit to capping once they've decided to cap, and instead of just capping as a source of putting the enemy under pressure, and then running away as soon as the enemy appear to preserve themselves, rather than sitting there and trying to fight it out and defend capture points that you're not going to hang on to. So far I've not been having much luck with the Object 257, but I suppose it's aware that I'm here alright. I keep bouncing shots off it. And the turret was turned sufficiently there that I actually managed to put that round in. So actually he's a one-shot kill now for anyone that gets to him, and there's an O&E. If I can make him back off, put a nice solid hit into him, and he's going to back off. Now I just need to make that Object 430 back off, and that should, yes, he's gone as well. I think I now have a chance of some clear ground, and I should make a run for the centre of the map. We're 2 tanks down though, so things are not looking good, and we're not in great shape either, with three of us left, and yeah, the enemy probably more options than we do at this moment in time. 705 comes out, and I bounce it off his upper front laces, which was a bad bounce. That lost us the Ag Tiger. Put that one in and finished him off, but we're down a tank, and I'm trying to open the attention, spread the attention of the O&E between different tanks, and I get him around. Did take a round from him. My tracks absorbed most of it, and he is here behind a building. We've lost the other tank on the last guy standing. Got one more shot will kill the O&E, and I need to do it quickly before everybody else comes back. Don't know where the Object 430 is gone. I know he's finished off our last surviving tank, but I thought that he might be here by now, so that I thought then, okay, if he hasn't appeared, maybe I'm going to be able to get away. The ideal thing here would be to break contact, lose contact with the enemy, so that they're scattered and not close together. But the Object 430 has caught me, so I'm going to have to stay in the low ground. I can't cross or open the distance any further, because to do so would expose my entire tank. Now he's hidden up here, and there's quite a clutter of material around him, but I need to get him before anybody else arrives. Took a hit, he did my damage to my ammo rack, and there's the T-28 prototype. So I don't really want to face up to him. I'd prefer, again, to open the distance here and face him at a longer range. And he's closing in. I thought these things were supposed to be slow, but he's a lot faster than you think when you're actually trying to get away from him. We managed to put a round into him, which is quite fortunate. Now I had moved to the premium rounds, but even still, the front of a T-28 prototype is very heavily armoured. And he has put a round into me, and I'm now, well, somebody's put a round into me. I'm now a one-shot kill for the T-28 prototype, very easily. I mean, 215 hit points. He's you can very easily do that. And again, I'm trying to open the range so that I can shoot him in the, carefully, shall we say, where I know where I'm shooting from. I don't want to shoot the lower front plate or anything like that because that's quite strong, and I was hoping I'd get over the ridge here before I got spotted, but that was not the case, and I didn't want a chance doing it because there's a very good deadly gun on that tank. So we put the building between myself and him, but he gets around it, and I managed to finish him off, which is quite fortunate, I think. So, how did we do? Well, we had 15 damaging ribbons, 4,835 damage. Got the win. 1 versus 3 there at the end. Not quite a Colbano's medal. 5 destroyed, so we didn't get the top gun either. We did get a high caliber. And a first class mastery. So, all I can say is this is one of my better performances in this tank, so it'll be a pretty challenging tank to get an ace tanker in. Came number 1 by experience and considerably more damage than anybody else in my team. That Object 430 did a fair amount of damage, as did the Object 257 and the T28 prototype. I mean, the enemy team the top players performed pretty solidly. That earned me a few GGs for my team, which is actually nice to get. Usually it's kind of uninstall noob messages rather than GGs. So thanks for that, lads. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video, and please give it a like if you do. If you have not already done so, please subscribe. I will catch you all soon. Bye for now.